I'm going to replace the fuel pressure regulator on a 97 F150. Here it is right here, on the right side of the engine towards the back. Now how I know that this is bad is because if you look at this elbow here, I got it all sealed up with glue because as soon as you put a new one on, a hole forms right there where all that glue is in there to seal up that hole. And then on further inspection, I can smell gasoline inside this vacuum line. There's supposed to be a vacuum applied when the engine is idling, which opens the valve to let the excess fuel out, and then it goes back to the gas tank. Because the high fuel pressure is too high when the engine is idling. It doesn't need all that pressure. It can cause problems where it'll idle erratically. The idle will go up and down from 500 RPM to 0 RPM, and up and down. And sometimes the engine will even stall when this valve's not working right. So the main reason I'm going to change it is because from inspection I can tell that there's gas getting sucked into this vacuum line. Not much, but there is. It's enough to eat up this rubber elbow here to where I have to seal it up like this for it to work temporarily until I got the new part. You follow this red line and it goes all the way over here. Right there you can see the red one. It goes into the intake. So basically the vacuum created by the intake from the pistons on the intake stroke, it's pulling in any fuel that leaks through there, through that valve, which actually causes the engine to run rich. And then plus, I'm not sure about this, but as far as I know, when this valve doesn't open up at idle, the fuel pressure is higher, and that will also cause the engine to run rich, because the higher pressure, the more fuel will get sprayed in by the injectors, even though they're not spraying as much because it's idling. So you get a double whammy there. Running rich because of the extra pressure, and then running rich because of this, which will explain why sometimes the engine will stall out or the RPMs will jump up and down, because the engine's not idling properly, so it's getting too much fuel. Now we gotta figure out where the fuse is for the fuel pump, because we want to shut off the fuel pump, and then we're going to start up the engine and let it run until it stalls. According to what I found online, the fuse box under the hood, up here number 19, this one here, 20 amp fuse, controls the fuel pump. So you want to pop this one out. Make sure you remember where it goes, don't forget. I'm going to start up the truck and see how long it runs for. If it stalls out pretty quick, then we'll know that we got it the right fuse. See that? We got it. It didn't even start properly at all. You need an Allen wrench to get the two bolts out that hold it in. These Allen wrenches don't say what size they are, so I'm not sure. You'll just have to check your Allen wrenches. Hopefully you have the size that fits. Be very careful when you take it out, because you never know, it could still spray out and get in your eyes. So best to wear some goggles, or don't look at it when you pull it out. like I said, that is crazy. Even though we did all that, there still was so much pressure in there. Crazy how the engine stalled out and couldn't run, even with that much fuel pressure. Again, be very careful. Man, that stinks. There's the old one. You can see inside there, too. Look at this. One of the little rubber ring seals on this is actually broken. Yep, and this is original. I don't know if you can see it, but right there, that oval says Ford, so it's 20 years old. And maybe in a future video I may cut this thing open because I'm curious what it looks like inside. Make sure you wipe it off, get it all clean, see how nice and shiny it is now. And then we're going to install the new part. Very important after you install it to make sure, once you get the engine running, that there's no leaks, no fuel leaks in between this part and the part where it screws into. Just thread on the 2 bolts for now, so then you can use the Allen wrench. Be very careful not to drop them, because it's going to suck if you drop them. And then you got to try to find them. And you want to tighten these 2 incrementally. Get them snug. Got the new elbow with the bigger end here. Then put the vacuum line here. And that's it. Then come back over to the fuse box. Well, you can't see it, it's too dark. Come back over to the fuse box and make sure you put that fuse back in. Alright, we're going to put that fuse back in. Putting the fuse back in. We're just going to turn the ignition key to the on position to allow the fuel pump to pressurize the system, and then we're going to go out there and make sure that fuel's not spraying out of that fuel pressure regulator. Once we get it to that point, then the system's being pressurized. Do it one more time. Now we'll go check for leaks. So far so good. I don't hear anything. I don't see any visible fuel spraying out. So it looks like the installation was successful. Now we're going to turn the truck on and make sure that it's going to actually run.